Hello and welcome to the 156th episode of the Gochuucast. Almost became the 156 point. Well, it would almost became a lost episode.
It
We
would
were
have
very
been, yeah,
close.
lost.
Would have been lost. We would have had to have a 160 or 56.5. We're doing the
I
Crunchyroll
just
awards
had
today.
like a 10-minute rant too. I'm upset.
Well, you have to remember your rant.
I'm gonna have to re-rant.
You have
Yeah.
to re-rant. Um, yeah, so we're going through the Crunchyroll awards because we're recording earlier in the week and we're not going to have our weekly shows to talk about that we usually
Good
do.
timing though for this. So,
Yeah, very good timing.
I think it'll be kind of nice to have like the next episode when we talk about the shows. We'll have like a good amount of content from the shows to talk about.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
Because it might be one of those things where maybe we decide, oh, this is a good amount of content. So maybe like next time, like next season when we do it, we're like, okay, maybe we just talk about like some of the shows where interesting things are happening, but like you know how every week we kind of clock into Witch Watch and then are like, it was kind of funny and nothing happened and then clock out. Maybe a show like that we would sit like do every couple
Every
weeks.
2 weeks or something. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
Anyway, we gotta play catch up because we were decent chunk through the awards.
Yeah, we're like
I
20
haven't seen
minutes
all
in.
of them.
I feel like it's been doing that a lot to me, where it's like disconnected it. And I'm gonna have to be more vigilant than I usually am. This one slipped away, almost slipped away the entire episode, but thankfully,
Just
my
lost a good rant from
just
me.
raw into you. Well, you'll come back with an even better rant.
Might even be
eventually.
better this time.
Yeah, you never know.
Refined it.
You had a practice run. Anyway, we'll start from the
Not
bottom
the
again.
not the practice run.
Shout out to all the foreign voice actors. Let's see. So Miguel Angel as Aaron Yeager for Latin, Spanish, Italian. Ilaria Pelicon as Komoto from Look Back. The Hindi was Lohit Sharma as Gojo in JJK Season 2. The German was Daniel Schlock as Monkey D. Luffy. French was Adrian Antoine as Kafka from Kaiju number 8. Alex Lay was the English winner as Sung Jin Woo. Castilian Spanish was Masumi Mutsuda as Jin Woo. Brazilian Portuguese Charles Emmanuel as Jin Woo. The Arabic was Hiba Snowbar as Anya in Spy Family Season 2. And then the one most people are going to care about, Aoyuki as Mao Mao for Apothecary Diaries was the Japanese winner.
Yay, voice actors!
Yay!
Punch.
All right. All right. now we're best.
It's always fun
anime
redoing
ending
stuff.
Sequence. Best ending sequence. The nominees that we've never heard before. We have the Aranma Half ending by Riria. We have the Oshinoko Season 2 ending by Hitsuji Bungaku. The Elusive Samurai ending by Bachi Boromaru. The Kaiju number 8 ending from One Republic. Such a goofy
It
ass
still
name to
feels
see
so
on there.
funny. Yeah.
A lot of people like that ending. I didn't fuck with it personally, but I know Lugia likes it, so I'm not going to say anything more. The solo leveling ending by Krage, and the Dandadan ending by Zutomayo. I said this in the previous rendition. two of the endings I
The
liked
beta
were on
version.
here. But unfortunately, none of them won because the winner, that drum roll, it was
The drumroll bit's a little. It's not that it's less funny, but we don't get the Tonikaku server shout out of you trying to find a drumroll sound.
I'm honestly really interested to see.
I kind of want to know what it is now.
I'm gonna play it. Okay, it's the start of the Rick Astley Never
It's
Give
just
You
a
Up.
Rickroll.
Yeah, it's a Rick
Oh
roll.
hell yeah!
Alright, that's gonna be our drum roll from now on.
This is worth the restart now that we get to rickroll everyone. every time
Alright.
we drum roll.
Anyway, the winner was Request by Kage, the solo leveling ending. Boo. Boo. Well, people like this ending actually. I don't really remember it, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you.
I didn't watch solo leveling, so I can't say too much. We all know my music opinions. We're almost certainly much better songs than most of these, but you might have to dig to some crazy deep cuts. So
You ain't gotta dig
not
that deep, to
surprising.
be honest. Like, you just need to like watch. Even if you watch anime that was like generally popular among the anime circle, like you'll still get some better songs than just like the most basic picks of all time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Anyway, on to the best anime opening sequence. The nominees were
I
Abyss by
wonder what
Young Blood
one.
for Kaiju number 8, Bling Bang Bang Born by Creepy Nuts for Mashal Season 2, Fatal by Gem for Oshinoko Season 2. It's funny, on this list they have Fatal by Gem twice, so thank you, Crunchyroll, multi-billion-dollar corporation. A round of applause. Can't like fact or like proofread their award-winning. Anyway, Level by Sawano Hiroyuki, Tomorrow X Together, solo leveling opening dog shit. Otonoke by Creepy Nuts for Dawn to Dawn, and Us with 5 views
Good
for
opening.
by Hiroshi Kitadani for One Piece. And the winner, Rick Astley Please, was Otonoke by Creepy Nuts for Dawn to Dawn. Very big surprise. Who could have seen this
Creepy
coming?
Nuts.
I sure couldn't have.
Shocking. I sure didn't see this coming, and I didn't also find out. I don't know, 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. It's what was it I talked about with this? It was the song had the same praise that Idol did, although I liked Idol more. But it's just like everyone talked about this song so much. Am I surprised that it won? No. Do I think that it deserved to win? Probably because it was so talked about. Do I think there were better options though? Yes. Absolutely.
I'm just
Yeah,
glad. Bim bum bum bim bum. I'm just glad that didn't win. I
You know
fucking
what?
hate that song.
I will handshake to that.
that would have been
Oh my god, yeah.
probably the second worst on here.
Fuck Creepy Nuts. I'm sorry. I just hate the name. That's all.
I don't
Okay.
know. This is pulling the curtain aside. This is like the rant conversation we were having before we realized that we didn't have audio, where it was like things that are popular, like really popular, like how this opening was. It's like totally valid that those things won the award. But what I hate is like a show or an, an opening or something being so popular that it just starts to win awards that it has no business being in because it's the golden child.
Yes.
Speaking
Speaking
of
of,
which, our next award.
oh yeah, actually, before we go to that, actually wanted.
Oh wait,
This was what I was gonna bring up before I realized we didn't have audio last time. So I went back and I was having a conversation yesterday with other people about how the judging works. Because I know a YouTuber who does like music. He's like a music director, does music reactions, and he's like, "How the fuck did solo leveling beat Freerun?" And so we talked about some of the judge stuff. The judges' vote is 70-30 to the fan vote. But we were also talking about how like stuff on their short list, like that they're just throwing on there for shits and giggles because there's so many judges who may have a cool pick in there, but also like
yep.
not enough times like throughout the entire judging pool. So apparently, if I go into the how the awards work and I go to the judge nominations in the very last paragraph, judges assign points to titles in each category within their individual ballots, which I'm guessing first place maybe is like 6
First place,
points.
second place, third
Yeah,
place, or
just something
something
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah. And I think they get 5 picks. So maybe like first place is 5 points, second place 4 points, so on and so forth. So they get to assign points or a place to each title in their individual ballots, and then they tally up all of those points to reach a list of potential nominations. And within these nominations, they are sent out to the judges again for a second round of ballots using the same point system, and that leads to the final list of who the judges pick to win, basically.
Oh, that's interesting because that's essentially exactly what I was talking about
Yeah.
before, where I said there's so many judges that like it doesn't matter. So we're talking about best score now, which I don't think we actually
We haven't revealed yet.
discussed yet. But like there's so many judges that it's like it doesn't in a system like that, it doesn't matter if like 30% of the judges voted for Freerin or Look Back as their number one, if the other 70% of the judges haven't watched or don't vote for those shows at all, right? And if every single judge is like, well, you know, the solo leveling score was okay, I'm going to put it at like third or fourth, but every single ballot has it at third or fourth, that's where it becomes like oversaturation. Because that's how like the nominees work too, right?
Possible, yeah.
Like plenty of judges probably had fun nominees for certain categories, but if there's not enough judges that are also putting the same fun nominees and they're just like defaulting to like, well, my sixth favorite character was, Sung Jin Woo, so I'm gonna put him at number 6 on the list. Then it's like that's how a lot of the like fun picks that we are missing from this get drowned out because only 20-30% of the judges are nominating the fun pick in each category, and then the other 70% are either running out of options or just putting like, well, I didn't mind this character and I need 6 nominees, so let me just toss that on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. It's hard to know without the breakdown, but yeah, possible.
That's just how like, especially knowing that system, that's how like a lot of stuff like that happens, because what it ends up
Yeah.
doing is it just favors the like easy public picks, right?
Right. All right. Moving on to best score, which I spoiled already when I was talking about the what's called, but the nominees were Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, Dawn to Dawn, Demon Slayer Trading Arc, Freerin, Look Back, and Solo Leveling. Rick Astley, please. It was Solo Leveling, like I said, like 2 seconds ago. I don't know, I don't know. We had to talk about this one, for sure, because there is no world in which
It's absurd. This is where the line between like
it's a
this is
comedy
my
show at this
favorite, yeah,
point.
this is where the line of like this was my favorite show this year and like I'm gonna vote for it in just every category it's in is drawn, right? Because we were talking about like it's perfectly fair and reasonable if Solo Leveling was your favorite anime this year, right? We all pretty much disagree that it wasn't our favorite, but like it's valid. Like things are popular for a reason, and everyone has a right to that. But I don't like it when it's like voting for something like Solo Leveling in a category like best score, where it's just objectively not competing with some of the other stuff here. And I say
Also,
that knowing that music is one of the most subjective things that people can experience. And I'm still going to make the comment of like Solo Leveling objectively should not be here. And it winning is where I draw the line personally of like I'm okay with popular things winning because there's a reason that they're popular, but I'm not okay with popular things winning in conversations that they shouldn't be in because they just get blindly voted for.
Also, it's like if solo leveling, okay, sure, it's popular, people like it, but I feel like the people who like it for other aspects, right? It's like,
Yeah, I never heard a single person talk about
yeah, if you want to
liking
say like it
solo
is the
leveling
best
score.
animation or the best combat or the best
It's literally
whatever,
always about
anything,
like
it's
the
like score is
fights
like the
and the
bottom of that.
aura.
Like no human has ever mentioned the music. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it's
But
I
just
that's
mean,
my
like I don't know.
point,
there are
right?
people who do like the soundtracks, but whenever they think about the soundtrack, they think about that song where we could like. People only start paying attention to the soundtrack and solo leveling whenever like the lyrics start coming in. So
Insert songs and stuff like
yeah,
that.
insert
Yeah,
songs. So you're forced to like
yeah.
hear some sort of music coming in because like you're paying attention
Song,
to
the actual songs. Yeah.
yeah, you're starting to pay
This
attention
is
because
just
there are
like
words to it.
another important conversation with like best score as a general category in really anything. Like this extends beyond just anime too, right? But it's just as a music person, this one I haven't even watched Solo Leveling, but the little I know of it and the scores and even like random scenes I've seen, I'm like, there's just
Yeah,
this is the one that feels offensive, right?
if I've had
Because it's like,
the
okay,
Old.
people are voting for this when they don't know what they're voting for.
if I had any comparison, I guess it would be so. Recently, I've started playing a game called Clair Obscure Expedition 33. You've probably heard
I,
of it. But
I started playing that game too.
I have
Yeah,
no
it's
idea what this is.
this game fucking slaps. Let me tell you. But some the
dude, it's
part
so.
of
I barely played it, and it's so good. I have to play. I'm gonna play some tonight. But yeah,
yeah, but the
the score is
part
fire.
the score is incredible. Like
Well, it's like no. The thing is, it's like I was gonna say this about like anime scores. Like obviously, solo leveling shouldn't have won this. We agree. But like one of the things that makes like scores really good, or like music in the background is really good, is like almost when you like don't notice it. I would say is like when it perfectly blends in with the settings. Right? It's just like so fitting. Like that's what I
Yes.
think I like realized about like Expedition 33 is like I do kind of notice the music, but like it just makes sense with like every scene that occurs.
for
But yeah,
me,
So
go ahead.
like
it's
Like,
almost
about
the
it, yeah.
opposite. Like it is good when it
Oh,
blends
okay.
in a little
Okay.
bit and like fits the scene, but whenever like I can feel the music impacting my like view of a scene.
perception.
Like let's
True. True.
say
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
like the I imagine that you've been through like the opening prologue part, like when they're on the main island, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like during
Yeah.
the Gamage, those of you who played the game know what that is. Like the music during that scene, like
Yeah.
perfectly fit like every single moment. And then I can't spoil anything, but there,
Yeah, I was gonna mention another scene, but yeah, I can't spoil it either. Yeah, okay.
yeah, and I'm in Act 2 right now, so I'm definitely like
I'm not
way
even that
way
far, but
beyond.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been grinding the fuck out of this game. One, because it's really good,
I
and
don't blame
also
you.
Elden Ring Night Rain comes out in a few days, and I don't want to be caught between two. I don't want to be like tugged between two games that I really want to play.
Yeah.
Uh,
But this is like the free like doing a deep comparison, not like a super deep comparison, of like free run score versus solo leveling score, and why solo leveling won, and why we all agreed that free run, if free run shouldn't have won. I didn't watch Look Back, but I know you both talk really highly about Look Back score. But I can at least talk about free run as an example. Like the things that free run does with its score are not flashy, right? It's just about using the music that it has to elevate the experience.
yeah,
And
like
that to me is what like a score is about.
if I
And
look
it
Yeah,
to some
elevates the
at
degree,
experience in a good way, yeah.
like everything on this list, it's like I didn't watch Bleach. I didn't watch the training arc either, but the training arc I guarantee doesn't have any fucking different music besides like I think there's one score people like really hype up at like the end of the season, and I haven't watched that yet. But like, I mean, one
Mhm.
track doesn't like put you into the best score category. But anyway, um, like solo leveling, Dawn to Dawn, there's not a single track in any of those that like stood out to me as like, oh that's like good or like this elevates this scene or anything like that. It's
I
just
will
like
say the one thing with Dandadan that I was reminded of that I'd forgotten is that Dandadan does have a scene where it uses the William Tell overture, which is hilarious. And I
feel like
did
I
have to
remember
go
this.
back and rewatch that because I remembered when I was reminded of it. I remembered I did think that was funny when I watched the scene. I had forgotten, and
Which
then I was
scene is this?
reminded. This is partway through the season. I don't remember exactly. I can go find it.
I mean, I'm sure I can look it up right. Done it on. Okay.
But
Home
like
Television.
stuff like
Yeah,
that,
found
it's
it.
episode 4.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is like not the type of stuff that's gonna win best score for me. But I will say that was a fun moment, right? Especially
Interesting.
knowing the William Tell overture, right? That's the type of just like I can at least remember that one moment as like that was a good score. Like usage.
Yeah, I think my pick for best score was Look Back when I was making my personal list, and it kind of has like the same impact on me as like a Claire Obscure 33 type of soundtrack, where like it is very like strong and impactful and impacts my view of like everything I'm experiencing. It's an enhancement of the experience as opposed to just like a obligatory piece of the package where like, yeah, you're gonna have music because of course you are, type of thing.
I think also a good score is going to enhance in multiple ways at different points, right? So like
Yeah.
solo leveling, for example, haven't heard the score, but I'm sure that like the counter argument to this would be, oh well, when the music gets hype, it enhances the experience, right? Because it makes you hype, and that's fair, but that's probably the only thing, or one of the only things
Yeah,
that the solo
like
leveling score does really well. Whereas in free run, I can think of several different moments where it's like the musical score, making it more suspenseful,
yeah,
or
it can
making it more
increase
hype,
the hype,
or
the emotion, like all these different, like Freerun has a very varied soundtrack.
it's when it does all of the emotions and enhances all of those. That to me is what like a good score is.
Yeah. All right. You know what? It's a good thing we're almost to the 25-minute mark, so clearly we've done something right by restarting.
We were like at the 25-minute mark before, and several awards late. We still haven't caught up yet.
Yeah, we have
But
3 more
we
minutes,
did
and we are
we
like
did
multiple
kind
awards
of
behind.
we did kind of have some of those arguments that we had later
Yeah, we had a
earlier
little
because they were
earlier.
on our head.
Yeah. Anyway, our last music-related award, we have
Just get
the
me out of
best
here.
anime song, which was Otonoke by Creepy Nuts. PK Wants to Be Gone. Oh, well, here's the Dracastly drum roll. All right, we're moving on. we know how PK
I've
feels
already
about that
said
one.
it was the most popular anime song this year. Like whatever. I don't think it should have been. I think it's kind of just like okay, but I can't be mad about the most popular thing winning.
Alright, so next up we have the Anya Forger Award. The nominees were Anya Forger and 5 other people that don't matter. The winner was Anya Forger. Congratulations, Regastly drum roll.
Yearly Anya Forger award. She's
I love how
coming
you
back
didn't even
next
name
year.
the actual
Coming
name
back
of the
next year with season 3.
We gotta burn the Must Protect at All Costs character award because it's just
Facts.
it's a
Facts.
farce. And then we
It could be such a fun award, but
it's just
you
Anya
get
every
Anya
year.
Forger next to fodder.
It's not even that they're father. It's like some of these aren't
They're just not
Must
real.
Protect
Like
characters, and then
Freerin does not need protecting. Senshi does not need protecting. Okarun does not need protecting. 10% of Crunchyroll viewers watch Sign of Affection at best. Probably less than 10%,
10% is
truthfully.
probably the kind way of putting the majority. I would probably say maybe like a few percent at best, because most of the people are on Crunchyroll to watch Solo Leveling, JJK,
I think
Dandadan,
Yuki.
stuff like that.
I think Yuki. What I will say, Yuki from Sign of Affection was a good nominee for this.
Yes,
If we
she's
had
the
6
nominee for this.
nominees, if we had 6 nominees that were of like at least a similar quality to Yuki, then I would be happy with the nominees. But we got one, maybe some progress. Anyway, congrats Anya Forger for winning the Anya Forger Award. She'll be back in
we couldn't have seen this one coming.
2026 to win the Anya Forger Award again if it's
yeah,
still here.
Yeah, because fall 2025 we get Spy Family Season 3, so if it is here next year, Anya Forger, congratulations to you. You'll be winning the Must
Congratulations
Protect
for
character.
winning.
Like
Just rename the award.
4 years running.
Change the official name.
I think she's won it. I think is this 4 years? No, I
Like
think
she's won it every year she's been
or
eligible,
it's
if
three
not every
years, and
year.
next year will be 4 years.
Yeah. I don't know if there was a year in
I don't
there
think
where she
they're no.
wasn't
I
able
don't
to
think
win it, but
because we had Spy Family season 1. I think aired in fall of this. I don't know. It didn't air in fall of a season. Season 1 aired. I don't remember when exactly. I think it might have been spring. But then we had a break, and then in fall of another season, it aired. But because fall wasn't eligible for that year,
yes.
she got pushed to the next year. So she won that year too. And then season 2 aired the next year, and then this is the season 2 that just won. So yeah, 3 years running. Because of the way Spy Family got spaced out, Anya has won the Must Protect Character award, I believe. Actually, no, did Boat the fucking
No.
no the
It
Osama
didn't
ranking
exist in
guy
2022.
no Osama it was last year he was available for it
He
because
was
of the
up
special.
there.
He
Yeah.
was up for it, but he lost. Right, I was trying to think if he won or not.
Yeah.
He didn't. He just lost.
Anya is a three-peat, 3
Three.
for 3.
Yeah, you ever
Right.
the efficiency flight like this?
Osama ranking
Never seen before.
Osama ranking was when we still had Best Boy. That's what it was.
Right, right. The category they should fucking bring back.
It was
Because
probably
Best
better
Boy
than
and
this.
Best
I'll give
Girl
it
were
at least this.
infinitely better than this. Because at that point, it's just like, okay, who's the favorite character? And, like, Anya's probably not winning, like, Best Girl, probably. I
And
don't
you
know.
know it's just as bad as the yearly Anya award is the yearly let's give a main character best supporting character award.
Yep, okay. So, Best Supporting Character, the nominees were Fern, main character, Himmel, Jinchi, main character, Seiko from Dawn to Dawn, Senshi, main character, and Turbo Granny from Dawn to Dawn. The winner, drumroll, was Fern. Yeah.
Which is it sucks because Himmel's right there. Same show, but actually a supporting character.
Right. But we had to put the like the Deuteronomist or Deuteronomist, Jesus Christ, I can't speak anyway.
Deuteronomist.
This
Let's go.
the second most important character to the protagonist, who are also basically main character. Like obviously Freerun is
I would make an argument
the
Fern.
super main
Yeah.
character of Freerun, but Fern and Stark are like right behind her in importance.
There,
Sometimes
I would
more.
say to like the point of the anime. Well, I guess this is season 1. Season 2, Fern arguably might have more plot and story relevance than Freerun does.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to best main character. Yeah, get me out of this one. So the nominees
Get
were
you out of there.
Freerun, Kafka, Okarun, Mao Mao, Momo, and Jinwoo.
And Plank.
Drumroll. Done. Yeah. Sorry, Plank. My bad. Plank from Eda and Eddie won the solo leveling main character.
The goat, bro.
This one just pisses me off. He's such a dog shit like character, and especially in season 1. At least in season 2, he like pretends to be a character sometimes. But like season
The
1,
problem is people watched season 2 when this was coming out, right?
yeah, people probably
Like-
look at Solo Leveling, like, oh, Solo Leveling, I just watched that. That was incredible, and they think it's like not just season 1. It's like, oh, it's so stupid.
This one just. But this feels like another like people probably looked at this list and like decent amount of people didn't watch Kaiju 8. Decent amount of people didn't watch Apothecary Diaries. Maybe a decent amount of people didn't watch Freerun. Maybe people picked one of the Dawn to Dawn characters and sent the other one down to 0. And so like I bet Sung Jin Woo for a lot of the judges was like 3rd. But if Sung Jin Woo is 3rd on every ballot and then like 1st on 10% of ballots, then it's like that might just be too powerful for like a Freerun or a Mao Mao who are 1 or 2 on almost everyone's ballot if they watch the show, but might just go straight down to 6th if 20% of the judges didn't watch their respective show.
Yeah, you know what? I was too kind when I went through this before. I'm gonna be honest. Every character on here that isn't Mao Mao is a troll pick. Maybe not free.
I would say that's
but,
valid.
But like, and I had this discussion the other day as well. Like, Kafka as a main character, the only reason people like him more than like the average main
He's
character of
me
a battle shonen. He's like, oh my god, his back hurts because he's 30, and it's like,
because
yeah,
he's 30. Yep.
his personality is the fucking same as every other high schooler character. This is why, like, people are always like, oh, we need older characters in anime, and I don't disagree. I think more anime of more varied perspectives would be cool. Unfortunately, whenever they do that,
They
we
don't actually make a very
yeah, they don't
perspective. They
make a
just
very perspective. They just age up the character and they act the exact fucking same as like a 15-year-old. It doesn't mean it. Like Kafka's literally just a 15-year-old in a 32-year-old body where he's just dying of age, and that's just how it works. He's not, and that's the only difference in his character is that like he has back problems because he's older, and he probably doesn't have those anymore because he's a kaiju now. Like it doesn't. I
I
don't know.
also feel like off the Kafka argument with the Dandadan main characters, I think it's like fine and kind of fun that they're both here. 'Cause it's like, well, at least we didn't try to call one of them a supporting character, but they both feel like if we're splitting them up like this, they both feel like half of a main character, right?
Yeah,
Like I think if both Momo and Okarun were like nominated together, which would be cringe, but if
it
they
would
were
be
nominated
cringe.
together, then I would feel much better about like a Dandadan main character vote.
You know,
But
almost do
they
like a best main cast or best cast of characters would be interesting. Like,
yeah, or like best duo or something like that, right? I guess that steers too close to
yeah,
like
let's
best
let's
couple
you know
and stuff like
let's
that.
Mhm.
burn must protect and just have the best couple slash ship or duo, and that would be better than that.
But that's like my issue with those two is it's like I like both of them. They're both fun main characters, but they kind of need the other one to like stand up to any like
I kind of
legitimately
agree
good
with that
main
because I think
character.
most people like them because they're dynamic as opposed to like them as like. I mean, I'm sure later on they'll probably be better, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
just throughout this, I just don't really care about any of the characters in Dawn to Dawn. And I think their
I also
dynamic is
agree
fine.
that I think Frieren I love Frieren anime. Frieren is a good character.
She's not
Freeman's
like a
not a particularly
best main
interesting main
character.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like if this was best character just as a category, then I would be like Freeman deserves to be here. But it being best main character, I think of like the things that I want and need from a main character. And I'm like, Freeman kind of does that, kind of doesn't. That's why to me, like there are certain parts of Freeman that make me feel more like Fern is the main character. Because Freeman's like role in the story is very abstract for a main.
but all right. Anyway, now moving on to what we were about to get to before I
Oh, new
realized we didn't have
content.
new content. We're finally in a new
Oh,
era.
it's this fucking category.
All right, best slice of life. So the nominees were Yuru Camp Season 3, Makine, Mr. Villain's Day Off, My Dear Friend Nokotan, UFO Season 3, and Dangers in My Heart Season 2. Drum roll. Makine, Too Many Losing Heroines won the best slice of life.
Is this
Which,
more or less valid than Dangers in My Heart for slice of life? I'm just curious.
this is,
I
I'd say
haven't
it's
watched.
more valid because, like, in turn, like, we've argued about this before, but, like, Makine's,
Yeah,
like, perspective on romance is not, it's very atypical. And so it can definitely lend itself to more slice of life while still dealing with romantic themes. But Danger's My Heart is like just straight up romance. UFO is a drama. Nokotan
that's why
is
I
a
asked because a good
comedy.
half of these are not.
I
Just
haven't
pick
watched
random
Mr.
animes.
Villain's Day Off. It's probably a slice of life. Your Camp is like the only like raw slice of life on here in terms of like what you expect to see when you're thinking about a slice of life. I would. It's interesting because I love Makina, and so I'm not gonna complain that it won
Not gonna
at
be
all.
mad, but
I feel like there's
yeah.
probably better nominations out there. Um, like getting this like a best romance would be more interesting just because it is a very different romance.
My
Granted,
problem is
I don't
like,
know what won best romance. So I guess Makine could have, but
yeah. My problem is like Eurocamp is right there, and I understand a lot of people probably didn't watch Eurocamp. I didn't.
I would say really the
Um,
only widely watched things on this list would have been Machine or And Dangerous in My Heart. And because Machine was
yeah,
on Crunchyroll and Dangerous was on High Dive, even more people probably watch Machine than Dangerous, and therefore Machine just kind of sweeps this category.
it just feels bad without having watched Machina to say how valid it is to see like the most slice of life show in existence in Eurocamp here, not winning the slice of life award.
I will say, next year if we have a similar list to this where like there's only one real slice of life, I'm gonna scream because like right now I'm watching a multitude of slice of lives that
We are
like
watching a lot of slice of life.
like Mono and Food for the Soul. If they are not on this, I don't even know what's the point of the slice of life category. Is basically what my opinion on this award
That's
is.
the problem. This is another one of those categories that feels like it's buried by the way that the nomination process works, and two, the fact that the Crunchyroll nomination and awarding process just kind of favors things that were watched a lot over like more deserving picks.
Right.
Mr. Villain's Days Off, a fun nomination though that made it through. Probably.
It's more interesting
I don't
than
know.
the others. Okay, so this category also ruffles my feathers a little bit. Best drama anime. The nominees were Sign
Mm,
of Affection, Dead Dead Demons, Deity Destruction, Frieren, Oshinoko Season 2, Pluto, and Apothecary Diaries. And the winner, drumroll, was Frieren. The least drama on this
the
list
least
of
drama of all
dramas.
of these.
Why?
These
I
categories,
would
bro.
have
These
been
categories are
less
like analyst tags.
I would have been less perplexed at Freerun and Slice of Life than Freerun and Drama. Why is Sound UFO
I would
down
agree with
there and
that.
not up here? Is what I don't
It
understand.
does
And the worst is the
it
fact that it won.
yeah. It does make me mad that Sound UFO, which is just a drama, that's like the thing it does best, is not here.
Especially season 3. Like, season 3 is like raw drama pretty much the entire time. Very much a drama, not a slice of life, and yet it's down
Yep.
there. And then
I
Freerun, which is
guarantee
hardly a drama at all, is up here.
guarantee half the judges looked at Sound UFO, saw that it was cute girls doing something, and was like, "That seems like a slice of life." Do not know the content.
Like, oh yeah, people say UFO is good. They probably said most of the judges probably haven't watched a slice of life in 20 years or something. I don't know. It's just it's frustrating. And
I agree. I don't
Freerun is
particularly like Freyrin winning this.
this is probably like the least deserving one on here to win that. Sign of Affection is like hardly a drama either.
The
Like
problem to me is that like I feel like this award
at least season one content.
should have just been based on these nominations, should have just been Apothecary Diaries, which felt popular enough to get the votes and is also at least close enough to a drama. I don't think it's the most drama of any of these, but it's like, okay, I can at least see the
Like, I would
argument.
say Apothecary Diary. It's a Chinese core drama. Like it's definitely
Yeah.
it's like very much drama. I would have fine with literally any of these winning except for Freerun and Freerun won. So that's just like kind of where we are right now.
The problem is now we're getting through the awards enough that I'm getting the feel of like, oh, I feel like not enough Crunchyroll watchers watched Apothecary Diaries. That's the vibes that I'm getting now.
I
Not
mean,
that
it's
Apothecary
popular.
Diaries should have won
I
a
think a
ton
lot
of
of
things so
people.
far, but
I think a lot of people have watched it. Just a lot more people watch Freerun instead. Like Apothecary Diaries is
yeah,
probably uh maybe like a tier above something like Machine, but a tier below stuff like Freerun and Dawn to Dawn,
for and
etc.
solo leveling Don to Don, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cause I just felt like with the combination of popularity and like actually fitting the category, this should have been Apothecary Diaries or at least Oshinoko.
Alright, moving on to the best isekai anime. The nominees were Konosuba Season 3, Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Core 2, ReZero Season 3, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Suicide Squad Isekai, and Slime Isekai Season 3.
I
And
forgot that Shangri-La was on this.
and the winner, drumroll, was ReZero Season 3.
Yay!
Hey,
There you
my
go.
goat.
We like ReZero.
Yes, the first valid pick in this entire
It only took us like more than halfway through or whatever. Yeah.
Problem is, I just don't like the best isekai category. But
I
this
think
year,
not
I
having
guess
it
we
just be
had some
best
decent.
fantasy is like the most copium way to fix the Demon Slayer issue.
Yeah,
Even
we
though
took
you could
Demon
just
Slayer
say, "Hey
out.
guys, don't put Demon Slayer as best fantasy,
We
please."
just don't let them put Demon Slayer.
Just don't let them pick it. It will be okay. Anyway,
It's fine.
yeah.
ReZero won a thing. This will probably be the only thing it wins because I don't remember it being
I don't
nominated
think
for
it got
anything.
nominated for literally anything else but this.
Which
Because
is
No.
a. This is like one of those moments where it's like I feel like ReZero should have been up for at least a couple things. Maybe shouldn't have necessarily won more than this, but ReZero season 3 pretty good.
whatever. ReZero season 4, my goat arc, it better get some nominations. Well, it won't, but it'll
Copium.
win. It'll win best isekai again next year.
As a medalist is gonna get 1 nomination next year.
Oh, no, it's not. Even if
Wait, just
Medalist
wait.
got nominated next year, I'd be like, that'd be the most okay I'd be with getting nominated and just getting blown the fuck out because at least it made it onto the list.
Yeah,
Medalist is not
getting
Something.
popular at all in the West.
no, it's
Like
not.
it's uber popular in Japan now because of the anime, but in the West it's like it got Disney jailed, and so
The
nobody
thing is,
knows.
like, medalist is in the sports anime bubble, and the thing is, Japan loves a lot of the sports anime.
Yeah, it's
Like,
also like
they
figure
always do
skating
really
is
well.
really big in Japan as opposed to
Yeah,
the West.
they always do really well over there. Like, pretty much every sports anime that I know of that's like somewhat popular, here is like mega popular in Japan. And even like a lot more of the deep cuts, like Japan really gets behind. But here, like people don't consider or respect most sports anime at all unless they are Blue Lock.
No, it's like Haikyuu and Blue Lock are like the only sports anime anyone cares about, and then like every now and then it's like, oh yeah, I watched like Kuroko's Basket or something, and that's usually as far as it
It's
goes.
funny because like Haikyuu and Blue Lock couldn't be more different from each other. Um, but it's also like as a sports anime fan, like Haikyuu is one of my favorite sports series. But like we have a lot of stuff that's at least on like a similar tier to Haikyuu, right? Um, if you're a Blue Lock fan, it's like we have a lot of stuff that's just as hype as Blue Lock and has better everything else.
Yeah, you see like Haikyuu and Blue Lock are carried by different things. Blue Lock has like the hype and aura that carries solo leveling, even though it's actually I don't know, the anime is really not not built like
The
that.
anime really does not have all the hype and aura that like the manga has, I
But
will
like
say.
it like has the facade of hype and aura, and then what Haikyuu has is it has probably a lot of Fujioshis that ship all the guys together, and that is a powerful force for any
It's also
series.
Haikyuu's just really well written.
People also just generally like it, so it's like I haven't watched it, so I can't say if I think it's well written or not. But well, let's say I trust PK's word,
I
and it
can
is
say.
well written. That like being well written and being something that the BL community can get behind is you're gonna go places for sure. They fund everything in the West pretty much. Anyway, best action anime. I really don't need to go over the nominations. Everyone
We
knows
really
what's gonna
don't
win
need to
this.
talk
We know
about this.
what's winning.
But
Anyway,
this is
nominees: Bleach, Dawn to Dawn, Demon Slayer Training Arc, Kaiju Number 8, Solo Leveling, Windbreaker, Solo Leveling.
Rickroll.
Solo Leveling
yeah.
wins.
Let's
I
go.
mean, this is one of the ones I'm fine with.
Yeah,
right?
it's fair,
This
I
is
guess.
Like solo leveling.
should be winning, not
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
else.
It's focused on that, right? So
Solo
you know,
leveling
might as
is
well,
an
right?
action series. It does action well. It's just fine. The problem is the other 10 of the other
Solo leveling
awards that
winning
solo
best
leveling is up for or
scores.
winning.
To be honest,
If it was nominated for Slice of Life, it probably would have won that too. No cap.
it 100% would have won for sure. Windbreaker is like probably what I would definitely say out of this list does action specifically because it's this season 1 of Solo Leveling, and there's like one like super good fight I can think of from Solo Leveling season 1, and the rest of them are kind of
Problem
like
is,
blurs. Everyone's thinking about season
realistically,
2 though.
season 2 is out at the time where this is coming out. People are thinking of season 2. Like,
Yeah.
There's an issue with all award type shows and stuff like this, but that's just how it's gonna be.
All right, moving on to the best comedy anime. The nominees were Dungeon Meshi, Konosuba Season 3, Mashal Season 2, Nokotan, Ranma
Oh my
Half, and Spy Family Season 2. And the winner was Mashal
Get me out of here.
Season 2.
Get me out of here. Get me
The
out of here. Get me
second
out of here.
least
Get me out
funny
of here.
thing on this list.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Alright, so here's my problem with the comedy list, right? We probably talked about this. Nokotan isn't
These aren't funny.
Nokotan's
Yeah.
not funny. Spy Family's not
Nokotan's not-
funny.
Spy Family's
not
Mashal
funny.
is not funny. Like, Konosuba...
Is Ranma funny?
I haven't seen Ranma, so I couldn't tell you. I mean, a lot of people tend to like it, so who knows? But like Dungeon Meshi and Konosuba are like the only like I don't know, the only valid picks on this list. I haven't seen Ranma,
Yeah.
so I can't speak to that. But Nokotan, Mashal, and Spy Family are not funny. Nokotan is funny for one episode, and then Nokotan sucks for the next 11, and so that's kind of the problem.
It was arguably not even funny for the first episode, but they did kind of get me, so I can't like really say that. But
It's not even that I hated it.
I liked episode 1.
I think
yeah.
I generally was fine with Nokotan. It's just like it wore off. But episode 1, like, haha, this is so zany cinema, like, haha, type of thing. It wears off. Yeah, I think if Nokotan was like 12-minute shorts, it would have fit better than like 24-minute episodes full. But that's not what happened. Instead, it just got unfunny very quickly. Mainly, honestly, like the main character that the non-deer, I don't know, I can't think of her name, but she's like the worst
The
straight.
blonde?
What?
Like the punk girl?
Yeah, the blonde one.
Yeah.
She is like the worst straight man I've ever seen in a comedy, and she like
I
drags
would
down the
agree with
quality of this series dramatically. Anyway, just like Koshtan, I think that's what it was. Anyway,
We could have just given it to Dungeon Meshi. I would have been fine.
I would have been fine with
We
Konosuba
did.
or Dungeon Meshi. I would have been fine with Ranma Half too, because I haven't seen that one, so I wouldn't be able to get mad at it. And so, but unfortunately, they gave it to the super popular one. So, anyway, best romance nominees are Sign of Affection, Blue Box, Machine, Ranma Half, Scott Pilgrim, and Danger My Heart Season 2. And the winner was Blue Box.
We're so back.
So lovely.
I am back. Welcome back. Welcome to Best Romance.
I will not say anything because PK's in this call, but
I don't take back everything I said about the Crunchyroll Awards. But we did good here, boys. Although I think the Blue Box first season might be the weakest part of the romance part of Blue Box.
I think there were 3
but-
stronger shows on this list, but it could be worse, is what I will say. Dude, honestly,
Yeah,
for like a split
I'm-
second, I thought Scott Pilgrim might win. If Scott Pilgrim won this, I actually might have crashed out, like, genuinely.
If Scott Pilgrim won this, we might have had a generational crash out on the podcast. Yeah, I don't necessarily think Blue Box with its season 1 content should have won this, but Blue Box is my favorite romance. So I will graciously take this probably undeserved win. I think Dangerous in My Heart season 2, from everything I know about it, should have probably won this.
I think my pick was Sign of Affection, but that's my goat, so it's a little biased. Danger with My Heart Season 2 would have been an extremely valid and probably correct pick, and then Machine would have also been a good pick.
I think this is my I'm not going to be mad about winning pick. But also probably should not have won.
Yeah, I don't have any of those picks, because everything I like loses or doesn't get nominated.
Literally, like, how many categories ago did fucking...
ReZero is like an obligatory, like, yay, we want the Isekai Anime Award. Like,
No, Machine and Slice of Life.
Well, that wasn't
was
like
kind of like a
you
liked Machine.
I liked Machine, but that's a Slice of
I
Life category.
guess so.
I didn't think it should have won. I thought Eurocamp should have won. I don't think I even voted Machine. I think I voted Eurocamp Season 3, even though I've only seen part of Season 2 so far. Like, I don't know. This isn't the same. Whenever Medalist wins something next year, that'll be my... When Medalist wins...
Okay, that's valid.
Best
when Medalist wins
comedy
Best Action.
or something.
Best comedy. That's crazy.
I don't know.
When Medalist wins Best Slice of Life. They just put it
God, that
into
would
Slice
piss
of
me
Life.
off so much, dude. I'd actually probably be upset about that, to be honest.
I
That's
think you would
crazy.
crash out. That would be like the funniest timeline because it's
You gotta take whatever you
not
can
a
get,
slice
man.
of life in any type of way. But people could definitely see um I could see them doing that nomination.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Anyway, next category we have best background art, which the nominations are Frieren, Dawn to Dawn, the Dungeon Meshi, Demon Slayer Training Arc, Pluto, and Apothecary Diaries. And the winner, drumroll, was Frieren. Big surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I picked Freerun for this. So
Let me see what I picked. I actually don't
um
remember. I think I
there's
picked.
probably better picks, but I do like Freerun.
I picked Weakest Tamer. Actually, Frieren wasn't on my list at all. I probably picked
That's
Dungeon
valid.
Meshi for this during our what's it called, if I had to assume.
I don't know. I thought the like Freerun to me had kind of a buff with this because it's a like journey series. I think we talked about this with like Dungeon Meshi and Freerun to me being two things that like naturally have in my mind an advantage because it's a lot of like adventuring to different places and seeing different environments. And to me,
Yeah.
like that's part of just like not what makes background art good, but what makes background art varied and feel unique, right? Is it's like Freerun going to a million different places, and every time you're seeing like a different environment and how it's made. Doesn't make the background art spectacular, although I think Freeman has very good background art. But just that effect, like psychologically, makes it like one of those things where it's like, oh, it had great background art because it's not Orient. They left the desert.
Yeah, you know what? That actually makes me like now that I'm like actually looking at this. I probably didn't say anything when we looked at the nominees, but Dawn and Demon Slayer being here just like actually kind of infuriate me in a little bit.
Demon
You know,
Slayer is crazy
Demon Slayer is
because
literally the
Demon
exact
Slayer on
same
anything, bro.
fucking play. Like they're in a
are,
forest like
yeah, are they
99%
not
of the
just
time.
in the tree?
Well, yeah, okay, so no, it's not even this in the training arc. Demon Slayer is literally always taking place like inside of a Japanese style like traditional building or a forest, and that's like 99% of the like the closest they got into diversity was they were fighting in the Japanese streets of like the entertainment district, and all the
It's
flair of
also
the
worth
entertainment
saying
district doesn't exist because they were fighting at nighttime and all the fucking lights were off, so it's not even that cool of a place.
it is worth saying, kind of like the antithesis to this would be Apothecary Diaries, where it's like
It's good background
the
art. It's
show
just like
literally
we
takes place in
see,
one spot,
yeah,
but it's really high quality background art.
it's quality. It's just like we're not seeing much like, and that's why I think it should be best to use something like Dawn to Dawn, Demon Slayer, and Apothecary Diaries all take place in like Dawn to Dawn doesn't even stay in one place. It's just all like extremely like typical locations. Like Dawn to Dawn takes place in the school, takes place in like a outside out like near trees and stuff. Like it's just very basic um background stuff, and it's just not that interesting. That's why you I don't know. I say that I gave you Hibike season 3 like second place on my best background art, but that's also
And
because
it's
it's
all in school,
KyoAni.
probably.
No, it's not all in school, but like whenever KyoAni pops off, they pop off though. They're just good. It's hard to argue against them. It's kind of like what we just said. Like it's all like in similar locations, but it's all so fucking high quality because it's KyoAni that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway,
When I think of like what I like in background art, I think like varied locations and doing them all really well is good. So I like the Freerun pick here. I think that I'm sure there's like things like specifically Apothecary Diaries um might be less varied but have like really high quality background art for
That's
its
my I
specific
think
I
my
stuff.
take
argument initially, but
I
yeah.
take my argument back slightly. It doesn't piss me off as much with Apothecary Diaries. I think Dawn Dawn Demon Slayer actually do piss me off a lot though.
Yeah,
Well,
I would say
maybe
that's
less
valid.
Dawn Dawn. I have to think more about Dawn Dawn. But Demon Slayer literally always it's like Orient now that I think about it. It actually like it's and now I'm like combining the two of them. Orient and Demon Slayer are basically the same thing, except at least Demon Slayer has trees
Oh my
around instead
god.
of rocks, and so it's a little bit different. I guess I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like Dandadan, like Demon Slayer, feels offensive to me here. I feel like Dandadan doesn't feel offensive, but I don't think it should have been nominated.
Yeah.
That's like my opinion on it.
Like, I think Dandadan has, like, we've talked about Dandadan's art direction, you know, you'll have the colors and shit like that. We talked about that a million times, but, like, I just don't think the background art technically is part of that. Anyway,
Yeah, I would
moving
agree.
on to Best Director, we have the nominees, Fuga Yamashiro, who did Dawn to Dawn, Haruo Sotozaki, who did Demon Slayer Training Arc, Keiichiro Saito, who did Frieren, Megumi Ishitani, who did One Piece Fan Letter, Norihiro Nagonuma, who does Apothecary Diaries, and Yoshihiro Miyajima, who did Dungeon Meshi. And the winner, Rick Astley, please, was Keiichiro Saito from Frieren.
Podcast goat.
Yeah, who I did not
Fair.
give it to because I gave him the win for Bochi the prior
Oh,
year.
sure.
But I'm not gonna complain because it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine.
I would. We've had some conversations since our original talk about these nominees. When I talked to you a little bit about Megumi Ishitani and the phenomenal work she does with One Piece stuff, and then she did the Witch Watch opening, which a lot of people have
really
seen.
good.
That's really good,
That is really
and
good.
it just
I
makes
actually
me.
love that opening.
It makes me want to see Megumi Ishitani
Like a
like
full series.
really, yeah, direct a full series, like a really like high profile series. She's really young, so it's not like something that's out of the question, obviously, to happen eventually one day. But I am really happy to have seen her nominated here because Fan Letter was phenomenal, and I think the work, everything I see her do, feels really good. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything that I can accredit to Megumi Ishitani and felt disappointed or felt like it was anything less than just like super high quality.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see her step outside of One Piece and do something. One Piece hogs a lot of talent recently. We need One Piece to end so they can go do better things.
But yeah, that's not
Problem
happening.
is One Piece just came off of its little hiatus,
Yeah.
so whatever the talent hasn't already been doing, sorry, they're back on the crew.
Yeah, we got you know what, I appreciate One Piece going on break because we got a really hype Vincent Chansard ReZero cut,
Yeah.
and so that was awesome. But
Yeah.
now he's back into
Um,
the coal mines for One Piece, I'm sure.
I definitely want Megumi Ishitani to keep doing One Piece stuff, but I would love to see her do a full series and just see what she does with it.
Yeah.
But also, Keiichiro Saito is another of our goats. Also very young.
Yeah, he did Bochi,
So
so you know, it's a friend of the podcast. We'll let it slide. Let the popular
definitely a
pick
friend of the
slide.
podcast.
Yeah, friend of the podcast. We talk to him regularly.
Oh, you
We
haven't? Oh,
understand him
yeah.
though. But anyway. Moving on to best character design. The nominees were Dawn to Dawn, Dungeon Meshi, Demon Slayer Training Arc, Frieren, Kaiju Number 8, and Apothecary Diaries. Drumroll. Dawn to Dawn won best character design.
At least it's not solo leveling. At least they
Or
weren't
Demon
there.
Slayer
So
for that matter.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, really, like, Dungeon Meshi was probably the main thing I would have ever picked here, but I'll take.
I think Dungeon Meshi and Dandadan have kind of the same thing going on, where it's just like a lot of like fun zany designs, and so it's like okay, the slightly more popular one with like the same idea in mind.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to best animation. Son of a bitch, dude! I thought we were gonna get through a whole award show without this winning anything. The nominees
God damn it!
are Dawn to Dawn,
We couldn't
Dungeon
give this to
Meshi,
solo leveling.
Demon Slayer Trading Arc, Frieren, Kaiju Number 8, and Solo Leveling. And the best animation winner, drum roll, it's Demon Slayer Trading Arc. Fuck you, Demon Slayer.
Jesus Christ!
No.
I love you, Potable. Unfortunately I do love you, Potable. But show me one animated sequence from this arc though.
It's literally
Actually,
there's
I haven't
always going to
seen a
be in the
single
the
thing.
last episode where they go crazy with like the 3D camera or some shit, and it's like you
I
typically I don't know, dude. It's just so
listen.
frustrated.
I love Ufotable. I have not seen a single scene from the training arc, and I am baffled that the training arc has anything best animation quality. But this is also probably a lot of people that see best animation and are like, oh, it's the Demon Slayer category because Ufotable's goated because Ufotable is goated.
I mean, they're great, but I don't think they deserve
I
to
don't
this
think
year.
this. Once again, I said it mostly as a joke, but I would have been fine with soul leveling taking this
Yeah, the
just to
animation.
get it, just to not give a Demon Slayer
Yeah,
award.
true. To take it away, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Dandadan, Dungeon Meshi, and Free Run were all perfectly good picks. Kaiju number 8's a troll pick. Whoever, like, I can't believe so many people put that on there. That's how I know the judges didn't fucking watch any anime, because Kaiju number 8's
Facts. They should be
nominated on
picking
there.
random shit.
Listen, I liked Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8 feels like a plant.
That's definitely industry.
Every time it's nominated, it feels like an industry
It
plant.
wasn't poorly animated by any stretch of the imagination, but
It was good.
It wasn't
But
like it wasn't built
yeah,
like that, you know. It had I appreciate 2D monster animation genuinely, but I just like I don't. It just wasn't enough of a like animation spectacle to be up there at all, considering some of the other shows.
I think we talked about Dandadan a little when we talked about the nominations. Dandadan's a really awkward one here for me because I love a lot of things that Dandadan did with like color composition and things like that, which like can kind of play into animation, but it's also not like exactly what I'm thinking of either.
Yeah.
But Dandadan had a lot of fun usage of color and stuff like that that I think deserved to have credit. I just wish that there was a better. I know in the past they had like best art style and stuff like that, and that's not a category that people understand. So I'm not unhappy to see it gone, but I do think like Dandadan for me and the idea of best animation is at least a little carried by the fact that like I think their use of color and shape composition was really cool and unique, and I think for that reason alone I'm like perfectly happy with it being here.
And it's just well animated in general. Like if
Yeah.
we ignore your love for its color, like it's just a well animated show. But because I think one of the hardest things with the best animation category is no one ever pays attention to the shows that are like well animated but like aren't action series. Like I don't know, there's plenty of things like fucking Hibike Oshinoko season 2 had some really strong moments. It was pretty consistent throughout, as far as I could tell. I don't know. Like, this Dungeon Meshi was probably should have won this or Freerun, but instead we get Demon Slayer award because people. The thing with Ufotable is they are good with animation, but they also sprinkle on so many special effects onto all their shit that like people just assume like it must be like even better than what it is. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Oh my god, this one pissed me off
I'm about
so
to crash
much.
out.
Dude,
I'm about to crash out.
this is a terrorist
I
pick.
looked early. I looked early. I'm crashing out.
Best original anime. The nominees were Buchigiri, Girls Band Cry, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, Metallic Rouge, Ninja Kamui, and Train to the End of the World. Fucking Ninja Kamui one? Are you kidding me?
Wait, what?
What are we talking about here?
This is
Are we
actually
just clicking? Are we just clicking something at random?
It's because nobody
Bro,
watched
random number
anything
generator, bro.
else
Random
other
number
than
generator.
Ninja Kamui, but this dude, the judges,
Yeah.
Ninja Kamui was
you need
garbage.
judges. Ninja Kamui gets shit on
Please.
universally. I never see anyone say they like the show beyond episode 1. In fact,
The
most
problem
people
is
who watch the show say they felt it was
oh
dog
my
shit by the end.
god.
There
Oh my
are
god.
I haven't finished. All right, Metallic Rouge is dog shit and shouldn't have won, and didn't win. But Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night and Train to the End of the World. I haven't finished Girls Band Cry. To be honest, I really don't like Girls Band Cry as much as other people do. Maybe once I finish it, I'll understand the hype. But even though I don't really like it that much, it's
Even
still
then,
like a more
Girls Band
valid,
Cry is like
it's still infinitely more valid than fucking Ninja Kamui. Train to the End of the World, extremely interesting world. Just a lot of different interesting ideas. It fell off a bit for me towards the end. I still need to finish it actually. But Insane with Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night fell off a little bit for me at the end, but they're still infinitely more deserving than fucking Ninja
I would
Kamui.
have rather nobody won. I would have
Facts.
rather they
I
said
would have.
this
Would you have rather
category.
Demon Slayer won, even if it wasn't nominated?
Would I have rather
That's the
Honestly, give
test.
Demon
Demon
Slayer?
Slayer best
Honestly,
original anime. Yeah,
That would have been funny.
I would have rather Buchigiri won. I don't even know what this show is or what it's about. Ah,
Uchigiri the Rock, bro.
Ninja Kamui was not good. It's not even about like. So I loved Girls Band Cry. It was one of my favorite things I watched this year. But I'm also just a sucker for music anime, right? But it's like, even if we just want to talk numbers, Ninja Kamui average score on any list 65. Let me look it up on Mal real quick. Let's see.
it's
Let's
like
see a Mal
it's similar. It's
rating.
like 6 point something.
6.6. Now, okay, so Girls Band Cry, if we're gonna look at that, has a 83 on any list. If I go to Mal, it has an 8.38. Okay, so and if I look at Jellyfish, I'm willing to bet
It's
it's
in the
about
70s, I
the
think.
same. 77. I'm sure Jellyfish Can't Swim Mal 7.76. Okay, so even looking at those three, and I understand people don't watch the music anime, so whatever. The amount of people that watched anything on this list other than Jakamui is probably so pathetically small that it's like they had no choice but to put. But are we? Is this rigged? Is
Well,
this a plant?
this is where the
There's just
judges need to like. This is where the 70-30 split needs to matter. But like, and I keep.
yeah.
It's just like it clearly didn't. It's I don't. They need a smaller pool of judges and they need new judges because what they have is not working. I just don't. I don't know. Judges. They should do it like the Reddit thing where all the judges per are like per category and they need to have watched everything that was nominated so they can actually like
It's
you
just
know
so
it's so dumb.
frustrating because I think there's at least two really high quality choices on here. The Train of the End of the World I generally enjoyed. I'd be fine with that. Metallic Rouge I can't really talk too much about. I don't know what Buchigiri is, whatever. But I know that Ninja Kamui was just objectively not that great.
The worst
And I
part
see
about this
two
is just
shows
like
here. One that I've watched that I know is really high quality, even if it's something that's very niche and like rub people the wrong way. I think Girls May Cry does a lot of things that it's like I totally understand why you're not super into it, right?
right.
But it's just like at some point I just can't look at these numbers. I get 60% like popularity score versus like 80% versus 77%. And not like if I look at AnyList, for example, 63,000 people have like I think it's 63,000 people have rated Ninja Kamui or watched it. One of the two. Versus 50,000 for Jellyfish, and I think it was about 46,000 for Girls Band Cry. Mal popularity ranks. Ninja Kamui popularity 1407 has 184 people on it versus 113,000, 184,000, 113,000 for Girls Band Cry, 122,000 for Jellyfish. Granted, big number gaps when I say all that, right? The big thing, a lot more people definitely watched Ninja Kamui, but are we is just this isn't like an award that I feel like should be like like I need people if you watch Ninja Kamui, it's the only thing you watch on here. In the future, if you're looking at best original anime and you watch one anime on it and that anime was bad, just don't vote. Skip it. Don't take an award like best original anime away from something like a Girls Band Cry or a Jellyfish or even a Train at the End of the World. Three pretty good anime that were done really well. Take something like that away from them because you want to vote for the only show that you watched because you feel like you have to vote, but it was bad. If you didn't like it, 65%
Alright, we're gonna
average score
pump the brakes
is
on
bad.
Ryan.
I'm crashing out.
Yeah,
I'm
I know you
crashing out.
repeat this the same point. Yeah,
This
Ninja
guy.
Kamui fucking sucks. We know.
I need people to understand that abstaining from voting is also a vote. And it is okay to abstain from voting if you don't think that the thing that you're voting for deserves it.
Best new anime series. Nominees: Dungeon Meshi, Frieren, Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries. Drumroll. Solo Leveling wins Best New
Wow.
Anime Series, which is insane because
Yeah,
it is
that's
the worst thing on the list.
the problem is, so this is where it's like, I assume Solo Leveling's like, this is essentially pretty much the same cast as Anime of the Year, right? I don't remember the
I
nominations,
think it
but
literally is the same thing as Anime of the Year.
I think this is just going to be one of those. They voted Anime of the Year, and then they voted their Anime of the Year for Best New Series. In that, like, logically that makes sense, which is kind of why like this set of categories always feels weird to me, because it's like Best New Series and Best Continuing Series are obviously both going to have a winner, but then it's just like one of those two is also then going to win Anime of the Year because people don't differentiate those,
Right.
which is actually kind of valid. Because like,
I mean, it makes sense.
if,
Like, if you're gonna vote something Anime of the Year, you can't not give it Best New Series.
Yeah.
Too.
yeah, so it's like whatever. This is fine.
Yeah, you know what's not fine? Best Continuing Anime Series nominees: Bleach, Demon Slayer Training Arc, My Hero Season 7, One Piece, Oshinoko Season 2, Spy Family Season 2. Drumroll. Fucking Demon Slayer fucking Training Arc. I hate this shit.
Oh wow, it's not One Piece. It's crazy, actually.
I would have rather had One Piece win. I hate One Piece being in the
Yeah,
stupid
I
category
agree.
because One Piece is going to continue for the next 50 million years. But I would have rather had it over Demon Slayer Training Arc. Because why the fuck is a Training Arc winning Best Continuing Anime
Why
Series?
is
We
lost the One Piece award?
Yeah,
I'm
that
so
did
sad.
used to be the One Piece award.
Dude,
That's
there's
actually
so
facts.
many valid choices for the stupid fighting award. We have Hibike Season 3, Peak Fiction, Anime of the Year, by opinion. Oshinoko Season 2 is on the nomination list and win. Danger of My Heart Season 2, really, really good. Fucking Don Machi Season 5, fuck it, that was really good. Fucking Tomozaki
There's a
Season
lot of really
2,
good
really
continuing.
good. Mushoku Tensei
Yeah,
Season 2, really good. Like, there are a million really good fucking things. I would have put fucking Love Live Superstar Season 3 over everything. Not everything on this list. Definitely not over Oshinoko. But probably over everything else on this fucking list. And yeah, here we are with Demon Slayer Training Arc. It pisses me off so fucking much. Oh my god. Anyway, get me out of here. Get me out of that award.
can't be hurt.
The Global Impact Award. I think we knew this existed, but we didn't like see. Not there were like no nominations for it. I think they just decided to give it to something.
I don't even have the same page that you do, so let me go pull this.
The Global Impact Award was won by Attack on Titan, the final chapter.
Question mark?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
Really,
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what like the
What that
requirements for
means?
this
Yeah.
were for. Obviously, Attack on Titan has had a giant global impact on anime, so I mean, I don't really give a shit. Moving on to an actual category though. Anime Film of the Year 2025. We Are So Back. Nominees: Haikyuu, Look Back, Mononoke, Phantom in the Rain, My Hero You're Next, Spy Family Code White, and The Colors Within. Drumroll. Thank fuck Look Back won this shit, dude. If Spy Family Code White won Best Film, I was oh my god, dude. This award has
we would have had to crash out too.
This is like definitely the worst Crunchyroll awards ever. Like even worse than the JJK awards from last year. But like this is absurd to think that I was even had to be worried about the fact that fucking Spy Family Code White might win this because it did win. I don't remember what fucking website it was. It's either Anime Corner or Anime
It won
Trending.
something, yeah.
It's one of those two where it won Film of the Year on that. I'm like, you gotta be fucking shit me, dude. Like, no way something like Look Back or like really any other movie on here is losing to poop jokes from Spy Family. Like, it's just not okay.
The Haikyuu movie was quite good, I will say. I don't think like that's the tier of like film of the year winner. So even though I haven't seen Look Back, I'm fine with this. But I liked Haikyuu movie. I just think like I would like to see more film of the years go to stuff that is not just like we're taking popular series and doing more content, whether it's canon or non-canon content for it.
All right. Let's see. The anime of the year nominees:
This I
Don
get
the
spoiled on
Don,
this.
Dungeon Meshi, Frieren, Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries. I'm not even giving it a drum roll. Fuck you, Solo Leveling. One anime.
It doesn't deserve a drum roll.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
deserve
mean,
a drum roll. Fuck Solo Leveling, dude. Oh my god. It's just such
and
a
then Solo Leveling
tragedy.
season 2 is gonna be back next year to do it all over again.
Yeah, it's just like, ugh. So yucky, yucky,
Yep.
yucky.
I mean, we've said what we can. I mean, I do think like I think this is. I'm not happy with Solo Leveling winning, but I do think Solo Leveling is probably the most popular thing this year. So like, can I really be that mad
I can.
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
about
I
this
can
specific
actually.
award?
Yeah.
I can, yeah. This literally entire list is like, I mean, Kaiju number 8 is a troll fucking pick, dude. If that doesn't say the judges need
Kaiju
to be
number 8 is not.
replaced, like drawn and quartered, like just throw them out into the dumpster, like, why is Kaiju number 8 here? Like, at least Solo
So
Leveling has like the hype behind it to like get on the anime of the year list. Kaiju number 8, I liked it. I had fun with it. There's so many other deserving anime that could have been on here, and they had fucking Kaiju number 8 on there, and that's just a travesty.
so correct me if I'm wrong. Apothecary Diaries only won the Japanese voice
Yeah,
actors
only
without a
one
Yuki
that one.
award,
Yeah.
right? That's absurd to me. I know
Yeah.
like that's not necessarily a good way to think about something like this, but also like
It should have won.
Apothecary Diaries not getting a single like anime specific award
It should have won best drama. The
is
fact that Frieren
yeah,
won that is a troll.
yeah. I think that's
Should have won best main
ridiculous.
character, also troll. It's just, yeah, shit stupid as fuck. Probably should have been on there for an opening as well, to be honest, for its first opening, but it wasn't. Instead, we got Level from Solo
I'm
Leveling.
still unhappy that the opening didn't have Haru. Like one of my favorite songs this year.
Well, Yoasobi's more popular, so.
Well, I can't say what I was
Creepy
gonna
Nuts is
say
more
on air.
popular, buddy.
Sorry.
Yeah, Creepy Nuts is better than
Yeah, yeah, buddy. You got, you
alright.
just got. I was about to say something.
I
Never
love
mind. I was gonna
Yorishika.
say it.
Yorishika's
Say
so
got
good.
creepy nutted on.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like that. Oh my god, never mind. Bro, I can't take that name seriously. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Haru is probably my favorite song this year, so I am kind of sad to not see it having been nominated for anything song wise, but if we were gonna put Freerun and popular songs up, we could have at least put Haru, but nobody cares about Yorishika tier.
Yeah, and you know what? Yorushika should be in contention for the next award with the Shoshimen opening, but they're not going to. You know why? Because nobody fucking watches Shoshimen. So, it doesn't matter. Which watch will win that, probably. Actually, no, it won't.
I
Because
hope so.
Solo Leveling Season 2's opening is going to win that.
I hope Witch Watch wins it. Witch Watch opening is phenomenal. Once again, Megumi
Yeah,
Ishitani.
I think like, I mean, we've had this discussion about judging the opening based on just the song versus like the animation and all of that. But like, I love the Witch Watch opening, like the animation, like everything, like the title, like changing, you know, like the different forms of like the letters of Witch Watch, like they use like food or like windows or like clouds or what. I don't even remember, but like I love the Witch Watch opening. It's so
It
good.
just
Yeah,
oozes
too bad
so much
it's
of
gonna
like
lose to the Sakamoto Days opening, which nobody liked.
it just oozes so much of like the creative genius that we've been
True, true.
seeing from Megumi Ishitani for years.
Yeah.
Maybe not years, but at least like a couple.
I mean,
I guess that is
what's it
years.
called goes all the way back to like episode 900 of One Piece, so I'd say years.
Fucking Mars just gave me the he posted about an old series that I read a couple years ago that he showed me. This shit was peak. Um,
Yeah, I bet
That
what
series
that
name One
that's.
Piece.
yeah, take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, let me just give it to Spat real
Um,
quick. You know, this is what
yeah,
he's
give it to
talking
Spat.
about.
Let
This
me
is
see.
peak.
What is this?
This series is so peak. It's not really
What the hell? What is
not
this?
really related to anime, the Pokemon thing. For anyone
Huh.
curious, the series is called Dating a Team Magma Grunt. Um, that sounds at all interesting to you? Go check it out. It's extremely cute and wholesome.
So I'm gonna leave us on this episode with a quote from Crunchyroll. We've definitely brought this up before, but I brought it
Oh
up again
no.
the other day. So this
Quoting
is from the
Crunchyroll.
How Winners Are Chosen section of the How Anime Awards judging works and how winners are chosen. Uh, Just as with last year and the year before, the judges' nominations will also count towards the final winners of each category, with judges' votes being weighted 70-30 with the fan votes. We've come to this ratio after careful consideration of fan feedback over the past 5 years of anime awards. This is from like 2022, by the way. And we found that this method yields the most meaningful results. The judges' perspective keeps the award from being a popularity contest and allows for smaller, more underrated nominees to take home awards. Think
This
about
is
it.
literally not true though.
Yeah, it's objectively
Like
not true.
this is proven not true. If you look at like voting theory and stuff like that, I actually just watched a video. Funny enough, it was a Pokemon video, um, where they the guy the YouTuber randomly hot dropped like talking about voter theory and how like voting systems vary, but also how they like certain voting systems trend towards like a two-party system, like what America has for its voting. In a Pokemon video, by the way, kind of caught me off guard, but it was a cool little conversation. But anyway, back on topic. If you look at voting theory, like the method that Crunchyroll uses, quite literally does the opposite of what they're saying. The method eliminates the ability for more like niche little like small guys to even get nominated because it assumes that like a high quality like less popular thing is going to be seen by enough people for it to actually have a say, but the reality is that's not how it works.
Yeah. That surprised me.
Yeah. Wish I could see a full list of the awards laid out so I could see. Because we had that with, what, JJK last year, where there's like a giant row of JJK, like multiple rows. And then I just want to see.
I mean, we kind of have like the main awards site. You don't really get to see the whole page, but maybe I can zoom out.
I wonder if someone probably put it together last year, so I'm not finding anything for this year. But
I can't zoom out enough to do it.
yeah, no, I'm not finding anything. It's just so yucky. Maybe like the Wikipedia would have the.
We were so close to not giving Demon Slayer anything, guys. What happened?
The anime fans happened. I forget what I was gonna. I was looking for the Wikipedia. Fucking anime awards wiki. All right, let's see. So I feel like usually they give amount of nominations for certain things per year. They might not have updated this maybe. Okay, no, because they definitely have. Because Solo Leveling is the first manhwa adaptation to win Anime of the Year. Might on crack. Hold on. Editions 9th. Okay. They gotta have the. Okay, Don had 22 nominations. Dude, Solo Leveling only had 13 nominations. I wouldn't be, and it won 9. Like, it's just.
Damn, the
So
conversion rate.
okay,
That's
so
crazy.
the rate was Solo Leveling had 9. The next was Freerin with 4. Don had 3. And then there were a few more anime that had 2. Attack on Titan had Attack on Titan had two technically. There was the I don't
Yeah,
remember
right. With
the
there was
foreign
a
voice
voice
actor
actor,
and the global impact
Latin,
award.
Spanish. Yeah.
So basically, two awards. I don't want to say fake. That's extreme. It's really insensitive to the dubbing community of the Latin side of things, but pretty much no one actually voted for that besides like maybe a very few select people.
But
Um,
that's the thing, right? If you don't know Latin voice actors,
and don't vote
then
for
you
it. Yeah.
didn't vote for it. So why are we voting for Ninja Kamui in Best Original because nobody watched any of the other shows? Doesn't make any sense.
Yep. And then
Sorry, I'm
Demon
not gonna crash
Slayer
out again.
had two awards, which was animation and what's it called? Look Back one. There's a voice role in there, and then Best Film. And Spy Family had a Best Voice Actor, and Anya win something. So if let's just take out all the voice acting awards for everything, because it forgot to give Apothecary Diaries anime. Oh, this is anime with multiple wins specifically. Actually, where's anime with just single wins though? Yeah,
Apothecary
there's
Diaries not having a single thing other than the Aoyuki Award is still like
yeah. I mean, the fact
really
Solo Leveling
obnoxious.
there should never be any anime with 9 unless it is like literally the second coming of like if Jesus descends from heaven above and gives us an anime and it's the greatest thing anyone's ever laid their eyes upon. I don't want to see any anime getting 9 wins.
How
Like
many
it's
awards do you think Sword Art Online would have won if they did an awards back when
it
it
would have
came
won
out?
literal. Let me just go down. Let's just go down the list of like all the categories. Let's
What
see.
year did Sword Art? It was 2012. Let me look at the.
2012. Yeah.
Actually, 2012 was stacked. First of all,
Yeah, but it was SAO. Like I don't think I think we're
I know it
underestimating
was
like the
SAO.
power of SAO, especially because back then people just liked it regardless like of how people feel about it now.
Oh wait, sorry. 2012 was not stacked. What was the year that I was thinking that was stacked?
2011's kind of
That's around
stacked.
that time. 2011 is kind of stacked. Was
Uh,
2012 not stacked? I thought 2012. I'm
I don't know. I have to look at the
dumb.
year specifically.
Okay, Fate Zero is 2011. Anohana's 20. Okay,
Fate
the
Zero
things that
had
I like were
the
2011.
2012 run as well.
They had the season 2, right?
Yeah, second
Um,
season. Yeah, second half.
Madoka was 2011. Okay, 2011 was stacked. 2012 was Sword Art. It was JoJo's first season of JoJo's. Kuroko first season of DxD. First season of Magi. Second season of Fate. It had I mean,
There's some
there's a lot
fun
of stuff
things
here,
in
obviously,
2012, but
but
there's like not like
I could see Sword Art having 10 awards in 2012.
let's Sword Art would probably win Anime of the Year. It was the first season, so it couldn't win Best Continuing. It would win Best New Series. So that's 2.
That's true.
Can't win Best Film. Can't win Best Original. Uh, what came out? What was one Best
Best
Animation?
animation.
Honestly, it might have. Given the like, I'm looking at maybe Fate.
Surely people knew Ufotable still at this point in time, right?
Yeah, I mean Fate Zero doesn't do anything like
Second season of Fate
super
Zero.
omega crazy though.
I mean, Fate Zero is still like really good Ufotable animation.
Okay,
Second
well, you
season
know
of
what?
it.
Let's just pretend like it doesn't get it. Best character design. I feel like it would have gotten it just off of Cloud. Even though I feel like
Were
Fate
people
should
like
probably
JoJo's
win that.
crazy yet
Well,
by in 2012? I could see JoJo's winning it.
maybe. I mean, JoJo's that hardly doesn't get shit today. Like, it won like what one thing maybe.
That's true. But this would have been JoJo's like debut year as an anime before like
The anime as we know it.
what
Anyway.
it is now. Yeah. So
Um,
I wouldn't be surprised. Best director
best
probably
director.
becomes a Sword Art award.
Yeah, Sword Art. Best background art would have gone to
Oh
Sword
my
Art.
god, don't even say it. Don't even say
Best
it.
romance would have gone to Sword Art. We'll pretend like it wouldn't have won. It wouldn't have gotten best comedy. It would have won
Best
best.
comedy might go to
Holy
DxD.
Wins best action probably. Best isekai. If we count it as if they put
If we
Shangri-La,
count it as an
we're gonna count as
isekai.
there. So that's 8 right there. Best drama would have won that. Let's see, not a slice of life. Best main character, Kirito wins, so that's 10.
Kirito wins.
Best
Best
supporting
supporting
character,
character
Asano, if you
wins,
want to
and it
win, we're
makes
at
us upset.
11. Most protected all cost character, they would have given it to Yui, the little
Silica.
fairy girl. Or
Oh,
her, I
that's
guess.
also
I don't
fair.
know. We'll give it to 12. Best anime song,
Oh my
obviously.
god.
Crossing Field would have
Obviously
blown
Crossing
everything
Field.
else
Yup.
out of the water. Best score, Sword Art Online wins. That's 14. Best OP, it wins because Crossing Field.
It's Crossing Field.
Crossing Field's goated, man.
What was the Sword Art season 1 ending?
I don't think people
I
care
don't
about
know
the
this
ending that
song.
much, so we'll let that slide. Best VA performance, Kirito wins. That's 16. Best VA performance, English, Kirito wins. That's 17.
And
we're
they didn't
ignoring
dub
all the-
anything else back then, so
Yeah. Okay, so Sword Art Online in our theoretical world here wins 17 awards.
I think that sounds accurate.
Dude, that would be the stupidest shit ever.
But High School DxD wins 1 award. It wins Best Comedy.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
It would be. I wonder if there is a 2012 Anime Awards, Tokyo Anime Awards. That doesn't count.
Yeah, those been going on for a while. Actually, someone just posted something about the Tokyo Anime Awards in another server. Apparently, their anime of the year in the film category was Look Back, and then Frieren was their television category.
Okay, the official Anime Planet 2012 Anime Awards. Is this a real? Is this from 2012? Did they make this in 2012?
Post the link or whatever, I guess.
Also, this is like too like informed to fit our narrative because Sword Art only won 2 awards in this.
Planet.
Anime Planet users.
So, for what it's worth, winners of 2012
High School
Tokyo
DxD.
Anime Awards.
Wait, they have best ecchi. Okay, all right, buddy.
Oh wait, so Tokyo Anime Awards, I'd have to look at 2013. That's how this works. Tokyo Anime Awards 2013. Oh, they put like wild shit on here. Understood. Wolf Children won everything in 2013. I don't know if this this feels too informed. They have Fate Zero winning 7 awards. It's my goat.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Fate Zero Season 2 would have won all the awards back then. I don't know. I mean, this is Anime Planet. I don't know how popular Anime Planet was back in 2012, but
The problem is we also have to simulate the voters being like as
big anime
mainstream as like the current voters, right? Because in 2012, most anime watchers were still just like informed, like normal anime watchers, right?
fans. Right.
But
Like, I'm looking at Anime Planet. I can't believe this shit is still alive. Like, holy shit.
yeah, this site's still being used.
Like, it has very updated stuff. I mean, fucking, they have a score on anything here? I don't know if they do. Oh, they have some star ratings. It seems.
Well, they have a recommendations thing at the bottom that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like if you like Mondo, you would
I like that.
Tamayura. Yeah, that's cool.
But like, if I liked Blue Box, what would I like?
Of course, this is also just like random people saying this. Like, I could put on there if you like your camp, you should watch High School.
Yeah, but you
DxD
can
or some
vote.
shit.
But you can vote.
Yeah, but how
I
many
see
people
one vote.
How many people do you think are using Anime Planet in the year 2025?
Hopefully at least one more person after listening to this podcast and hearing it exists.
Who knows?
Anyway, I think Sword Art Online would have swept the 2012.
Yeah, it's gonna be my
Awards.
headcanon that Sword Art Online would have
My
won
headcanon.
17 awards, and we're actually living in the better timeline with solo leveling, when only winning 9. Not really, but dude, looking at the presenters is so goofy as well. What do you mean Finn Wolfhard is out here at the Anime Awards, dude? I've never heard of him talking about anime, literally ever. Granted, I don't pay attention to what Finn Wolfhard says. I don't have Wait, what the fuck? Finn Wolfhard is voiced in anime? Hold on. Oh, he fucking voiced in Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Okay, buddy.
Okay, does that count?
I saw like multiple pictures of like different characters on there. I'm like, oh shit, did he?
Oh, that's funny. We should have seen that coming.
Let's see. Finn Wolfhard was asked to name some of his favorite animes, which he listed Akira, Cowboy Bebop, and Death Note. Daring today, aren't we? Alright. Well, good for him, I guess.
Wait, Symphogear came out in 2012.
Yeah, no one's watching Symphogear in 2012, buddy. I'm sorry.
Nobody's watching Symphogear in 2025 either. Good series.
That's correct. Anyway, that'll be the end of this episode. Honestly, I thought it was like slightly shocked that I didn't know if we'd get to an hour after we lost the first 25 minutes and had to restart. But
There were no
actually,
plans.
we came back with a vengeance.
Daniel, I crashed out for 20 minutes.
I don't know about 20 minutes, but yeah, we'll give it.
I don't know how long it was. It felt like a long
It
time.
was probably
split
like
into, like,
a
5
good few
minute
minutes.
It felt like a solid 7 or 8 minutes
Long
of
enough
me
that
just
even
not
I,
taking a breath.
who has been on rants before, felt the need to step in and end the rant. I don't know.
That's what the people are here for.
This is definitely my least favorite Crunchyroll award so far.
It
Like,
gets worse. Don't worry.
at least when Jujutsu
Wait
Kaisen
until next year.
Yeah, next year when we get the repeat, dude. At least when Jujutsu Kaisen won, like Jujutsu Kaisen is like a margin, like at least like a tier above Solo Leveling. Like it has a good animation. At least it like pretends to be good at writing sometimes. Granted, season 3 is where I think it falls off like a massive cliff, but it's yeah. Anyway, that'll be in the episode. Is the Order an Anime Podcast, whether you're on audio only or the YouTube side of things, that is the name you look for. We are the only one. Cannot possibly miss us. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. EST without fail. Except for when we do, there will be a new episode out for you to enjoy. So once again, thank you for listening. And we hope to see you not only next year for the next Anime Awards, but also next episode. So once again, thank you and goodbye.